What's going on YouTube? Technician Troy here again. Today I have a little bit of a sad and a happy moment. So the happy moment is I've been driving the Blazer now for a couple of weeks, put about 600 miles on it. You are going to see an update on that. I didn't get a lot of footage on actual R&R of the engine and the teardown and everything. I've got pictures and whatnot. I'll do an update and an overview on that here soon, and just kind of all around on the vehicle on what's new and what's nice about it, and why I'm going to be using it as a daily driver and kind of like a grocery getter kind of thing. But during those 3 weeks of me driving, 2 or 3 weeks of me driving it, I've left my other vehicles parked. Obviously it's been really cold, and to move the Sonoma, it's got the drag radials on it right now that I put on there, and I don't really like driving those in the cold, and I hear bad things if you drive them in the cold. So the old daily that I have, the other one, my 2011 Silverado, the Great White Buffalo, if you will. I've been doing some maintenance on it here and there lately, and it's had an oil leak that has popped up, and I noticed it on my nice new fancy brand new concrete driveway. So we're going to try to get into that. So far what I've done on it, not today or recently, but here a few months back, I put transmission cooler lines on it, I put oil cooler lines on it, I have done the valve cover gaskets, just routine maintenance things. Just when I start to see a little leak, I go ahead and fix that up. But what we're going to do today is the oil pan gasket. I'm going to give you a little quick rundown on what all needs to be done to do an oil pan gasket on one of these that I find to be the easiest for the 2000 and the late 2007 and up to 2013 body. Personally, especially four-wheel drive, because four-wheel drive is a little bit harder. You got the front diff and everything like that in the way. But I'm gonna point, kind of show you what's going on real quick before I actually get into turning bolts, and I'll let you see what I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna wind up doing. But yeah, I'll show you the oil leak, and then I'll show you what all needs to come off. So we got a lot of oil right here on the front diff. It's not looking so great. It's kind of dripping, and it's hard to see. Let me see if I can get it from here. Nope. Most of it's coming from this side of the oil pan. You can see that bolt way up there. There's the light on that one right there. It's dripping. And then obviously on the oil filter, it's wet too. I don't know if it's coming from that little oil cooler line gasket or if the filter's a little loose, but the filter was not loose, by the way. I'm a little worried because what we call the LS package at work is the valve covers, the oil pan gasket, the rear main, the valley plate, and the timing cover. So if you see that little drop of oil right there around that inspection hole, that makes me nervous because I'm gonna see if I can focus it in. Let me see if I can see it in there. Let's see. Work with me, work with me. Yes, no, maybe. Okay, well, I couldn't do it. What I'm worried about is that valley or that rear main seal possibly leaking. Now, more often than not, I don't see the rear main seal leak in the LS's. I see more so the rear engine plate leak. That gasket's a thin metal and neoprene bonded gasket, and a lot of times that little rubber will just kind of get stiff and hard over time and just blow right out. So I'm worried that I might have to do that too. If you got to, obviously you got to pull the transmission. Not a huge job, not very hard. I typically just pull the transmission back about 3 inches, and then I shove a wrench in my hand in there and just go to town and hope for the best. But real quick, just to tell you how to do an oil pan the quick and easy, down and dirty way. So some people do have these, some people don't. This is the OEM skid plate. This would be what would be a plastic skid plate normally, but I took that off, and it's a aluminum sheet that's been broke and cut and everything like that. All of those are 15 millimeter bolts, and they go from here down and over to here, and then obviously this one covers the front diff and everything. Now, what I like to do is I take these 18s out of this cross member, these bolts and nuts. I drop the cross member down. I come back here and I go ahead and I take these 215 bell housing bolts out, and then I take this 10 and this 10, this 10 and this 10 out, and that allows the sway bar to be able to move and drop. There is two 15 millimeter bolts right here that are in the transmission cross member, transmission mount. I would then do that, take those loose, and then I take a pole jack and I put it underneath the transfer case for a four-wheel drive, and I raise it up as high as I can. And I'll explain why here in a minute. Now, we have two 22 or 24 millimeter, these are 22 millimeter bolts right here and here on one side of the differential. Two 18s, one here, one right there, and then one on this side, way up there. You take those two out, and I just let the differential hang down. Then you have two 24 millimeter nuts or bolts right here for the steering gear, and then an 18 in here, and an 18 right there. Take those two, just let the steering gear hang. Then there's a little 10 millimeter right there on that wire harness on the side. You pull it out, take this harness and just slide it to the right, drop it down. Take all your 10 millimeter bolts around your oil pan. You're gonna have a 10 mil right here for the oil cooler or the transmission cooler lines. Take that 10 mil out. Take your 10 millimeter out right there next to your oil filter. It's got a little black plate there, and then there's another one right over here next to the starter. And I normally like to drop the starter out of it too. It just makes moving that black plate out of the way a little bit easier. And then once that is all done, you will have oil all over you. You'll cuss and fuss a little bit. And then the easiest thing to do is, since your differential's dropped, your steering gear's dropped, the oil pan will come down. Since the back of the engine is raised up, that's the bigger portion, the deep part for the sump on the oil pump or the oil pan. You can drop it down and give it a wiggle and it'll come out. Problem is typically your sway bar's in the way. So you take those 4 10 millimeters out, you grab a hold of that sway bar, you put all your weight into it, you grab the top of the oil pan, just give it a yank, comes right out over the top of the sway bar. Put it in a parts washer right over there. There's a parts washer. Clean it up. Take the gasket off of it and everything, go back to town and reverse the process. It's not terribly hard. What makes it hard is if you're doing it on your back, and I'm blessed to be able to have a rack here at work, and they let me do some work here on my personal vehicle. So that's the luxury of that. But just wanted to give you guys a quick update, let y'all guys and gals know that I'm not dead. I am alive. I'm still wrenching. I'm trying to get done with my daily driver stuff, my small maintenance items, my repairs on my normal vehicle so I can get back to race car stuff. I've still got that big block I'm wanting to work on. I have no idea which way I want to go with it yet. Do I want to make it a cruiser? Do I want to make it burnouts? Do I want to make it to a racing, into a racing car? I don't know if I want to do drag car. I don't know if I want to do burnout car or cruising car. I don't anymore. I love the Sonoma. I love racing the Sonoma. It's consistent, and I love bracket racing. I find it to be the most fun, in my opinion. So with that being said, I still plan on replacing the computer and the wire harness on the LS and the Sonoma. That way I can do a little bit more tuning on the fly. I believe it's running pretty fat. It does not like cold weather. It does not like hot weather. I just think there's some tuning that can be done there and make it run a little bit faster and a little bit better for more reliability wise. I'm sorry it's so loud here, guys and gals. I got the heater going. It's cold out. It's like 40-mile-an-hour winds right now. So yeah, I mean, what we're trying to do is I'm trying to get done with all this stuff so I can get back to race car stuff. That way I can get it ready for No Name Nationals 2024. I'm already registered. Can't wait to see all you guys and girls there. It's going to be a blast. I hope to actually be able to do a live feed from there this year. That would be fun. Never done that. So that would be really cool. And so yeah, I appreciate you guys and girls watching. I couldn't be where I'm at without y'all, and I greatly appreciate it, and I love y'all so much. God bless. Y'all have a good one. I'll see y'all next time.